Welcome to Bloodbath and Beyond. Today we review Kangaroo Jack. He stole the money and he's not giving it back.
Directed by David McNally, starring Anthony Anderson, Jerry O'Connell, and Estella Warren. Kangaroo Jack is about two lifelong friends who need to travel to the Australian outback to deliver $50,000. Along that way, a kangaroo ends up stealing the money and now they must get it back. So what did we like?
We're all here for this movie for one reason, and that is the buddy duo of Anthony Anderson and Jerry O'Connell. I enjoyed seeing Anthony Anderson being his wacky self and Jerry O'Connell having his subtle, sexy humor.
Even though this was a comedy, I like that they threw in mob aspects. We get a nice cameo by Christopher Walken, who plays a sweet, dark mob boss. And we get the muscle, Michael Shannon, who you might know from Boardwalk Empire.
The production value in this film was extremely high, coming in at a $60 million budget. It makes sense. We had some really great action sequences and chase sequences, and we also got to see a locale that we don't get to see that often, which is the Australian outback. We haven't seen something like this since Wolf Creek 2, so it's nice to, see the red sands again.
And no Outback movie is complete without a little heat, and we got it in Estella Warren. She was smoking hot in this film.
And we can't forget about the true star in this film, Jackie Legs, the kangaroo, the Roo from the South. He was the wackiest character we've seen in a long time. He's just kicking characters, jumping around, and these two fumbling fools are just trying to chase him the whole time. I
thought his facial expressions and his mannerisms were truly unique. We haven't seen that in a long time as well. So it's great to see a young performer doing his thing.
And just like as he's eating the different candies and struggling with that fireball jawbreaker, oh, it was hilarious.
And even those sympathetic moments where he's giving the puppy dog eyes, you just feel for him.
So what didn't we like?
Well, I liked Kangaroo Jack as a character. I didn't think that he really needed to exist. It seemed like they were all kind of cut-in shots where he was doing something wacky that didn't relate to the rest of the film. And I'm almost certain that this was a very different movie before some other writer jumped in and said, no, we can market this to kids, and I think we should.
Because we did have some adult humor throughout the film. We had a lot of sexual innuendos that you wouldn't get from a younger audience. So it's weird having both sides of the coin in this film.
I agree with that. I think this story could have went fine without having this kangaroo. These two friends needed to get this money to Australia, and they were already bumbling buffoons, stumbling over New York. I think they could have come up with just as great shenanigans in the Australian outback without involving this kangaroo chase. Just get them involved in bars, get them involved with snakes. It's so you can have great comedy without needing this crazy CG character.
Though it did win an award for Best Fart in a Film, I, for one, was not a fan of the fart scene. It went on for way too long, and the punchline with Anthony Anderson being the one farting was not funny at all.
That one was me.
But it did win an award. Something that was pretty aggravating about this movie was the fact that they've kept playing the exact same song over and over and over again throughout the film anytime that the kangaroo was in the scene or even talked about. And what it was the next episode, the Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg song, it was that instrumental just tweaked in such a way that they can use it as a cover. It's really weird. Have a listen. I won't get hit with the copyright.
So now it's time for our final thoughts and ratings.
Jerry O'Connell and Anthony Anderson hit it out of the park. They're entertaining, their jokes are great, and their acting is on point. The film had really cool locations, and the story was really interesting. The only downfalls it has is there's certain aspects of the story, like the kangaroo, that don't necessarily need to be involved to make this a good film, and they overplayed using Jackie Legs, in my opinion, and it kind of took away from the film. But overall, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was funny and entertaining. I would suggest checking it out. And with that being said, I'm gonna give this film 3.5 kangaroos making it rain out of 5.
As a longtime fan of Anthony Anderson and a fan of Jerry O'Connell, it was great to see them working as a comedic buddy duo. They did a great job delivering all their jokes. However, I felt some of them fell a little bit flat and some were a little bit more childish than I thought they should have been, considering a lot of the other adult humor in the movie. The production value was very high and there were some great chase scenes, but I felt that all of the CG was a little bit dated, so I'm gonna give this 2.5 Slurpees out of 5.
Brain freeze.
For the budget this film had, I think they could have done a way better job if they would have had a little different of a story. I think adding all that CG element just jacked up the budget, and it could have added that to like better chase scenes, more improved story. The only real reason is that I guess they wanted to gear it towards kids. I really enjoyed the comedy duo. I thought they worked very well together, and they actually utilized in their jokes the setting of Australia. So with all that said, I'm gonna have to give this 3 ice cold Fosters out of 5.
As always, thank you for watching. Like this video and comment below with your thoughts on Kangaroo Jack if you've seen it, and if you haven't and you want to pick it up, there are links in the description where you can find it. And if this is your first time here, make sure you subscribe to the channel to stay updated with everything Bloodbath and beyond.